Welcome to Binging
Dragon!
What is going on, mi gente? Welcome back to another episode of Binging Dragons. A very, very special episode, damn it. My name is Ruben, aka CrossRodz, and here we have Marc. I think he froze. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
am I introducing myself now?
Yeah, it's your turn.
I am Marc from House of Nettles. Sorry for messing up the flow.
No, you're fine, man. And now JJ.
Hi, Lady Dragon JJ. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I've been like counting days.
Yes.
Folks.
And then we have the awesome Kellie.
Hi, Kellie, Game of Thrones historian. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited too. Like, I'm fangirling over this. This is so fun.
Yes. And then we have, I won't say the name, but WesterosiO, damn it.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm kind of nervous, so I don't know what to say. But yeah, hello everyone.
No, you're good. And then at the end over there, we have the awesome Estella Graves.
Hi, yes, thank you so much for including me in this lineup. I am also, for some reason, nervous.
Oh, listen.
Listen.
Let me put something out there. If you guys are nervous right now, believe me, I'm extra nervous. So I might look a little bit like normal or not, but believe me, I feel the tingles all throughout my body right now. Yeah, I'm just man, super excited, super grateful. There's a lot of awesome people in the chat already. I'm just so grateful to have you all here. I was telling you all before we started, the fact that we are getting to do this is just honestly mind-blowing. And to me, because in so many ways, I admire you guys and what you all do as content creators, as big fans of this incredible world that George created, that ultimately united us, and I hope that this is a friendship that lasts years and years and years. And it just makes me happy. It just makes me happy because also it's a moment to show that the loudest people in the fandom, or the weird people, the bad people in the fandom, are just the loudest. I keep saying that. And I am certain that it's more of us, the good ones, that make this fandom, good and enjoyable and whatnot. And it starts with like every single one of you. So yeah, I might even by the end, I might even get a little bit emotional, honestly, because yeah, JJ knows. I told her in our episode, she was the one that inspired me to start creating, one of the people that inspired me to create content, and especially Game of Thrones content. And then afterwards, I started finding all of you incredible people, Marc, Kellie, Mike, WesterosiO, Estella, and it just went on from there. And man, I'm honored, honestly. So.
Yes. Hey, thank you for having us, man. I know it took a lot of work for you to get all these people together. So I just want to say thank you for inviting us on here with you.
Mm-hmm. I second that. Yes.
Yeah. Third that. Yep.
Thank you all, man, for real. And now everyone in the chat, welcome. Some people are saying they cannot see me for some reason. Listen,
you're frozen still.
Oh, yeah. I'll try to fix that. I just noticed it on YouTube. I have it opened up on my phone. Let me see what's happening here for a second. If not, I'll put my cheap camera. I don't know, maybe if that helps, but I look horrible. No, you guys can't see me. Whatever. It is what it is. You guys can hear me at least.
Right, on YouTube, you're right. I can't see you.
Yeah, whatever. I just want you guys. So let's see if that helps. I just stopped the. Okay. I'm gonna hide and then bring it up again. Sorry, guys. That's how the internet works.
It wouldn't be a
Whatever.
podcast session without some technical difficulties. I have yet to
exactly.
go through one that's smooth, like 100%.
Exactly. So whatever.
It's usually me
My
that
God.
doesn't know what I'm doing. So
I don't
Take the heat
know
off
what's
me.
happening. Yeah, I don't know what's happening for some reason. But as long as everyone is able to hear me in the chat, please let me know if you can hear me. And that's honestly all that matters right now. Yeah. Guys, before we get started with the House of the Dragon talk, let me remind you all, this will just be House of the, well, obviously there will be a Song of Ice and Fire talk because of course it's going to happen. We have just the best. And but mainly it'll be House of the Dragon up to season 2. So no book spoilers. I've got a few moderators, Farah, Daya, myself. I'll be looking at the comments, and if I see someone acting up, yeah, you're, as I usually say on my live videos, you're going to the dragon pit, and damn it, Vermithor is hungry. As you guys saw.
That's
so you're going out for real, and obviously be nice. Which so far I don't think anyone has been acting up. It's been all but love, you know.
Blackaris.
Yes,
Oh, it's
Blackaris for sure. Anyways, I will, man, I think now that we have introduced ourselves and whatnot, let's get in. Oh, look who it is.
Of course she'll make an appearance every time.
It can be a podcast with JJ without the awesome podcast kitty. So let's start. Oh, there you go.
Now y'all just showing off. Now y'all just showing off.
like I need to go and get mine. Like she's around here somewhere.
Oh, look at that.
Game of cats right now.
Game of cats.
I like it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I hate that you guys can't see me because I also have my 2 awesome boys, and but whatever. It is what it is. Damn, man. It kind of sucks, honestly, that I'm not there, but whatever. Season 2, House of the Dragon. There are a lot of questions that we had also in the email. I just managed to get like 5, but thank you to everyone that sent in questions to the email, because yes, you are all incredible. Some questions do, I will say, included like big time spoilers. So sadly, I don't think we'll get to those, or if we do, JJ has a good answer for one of them whenever we get to that one. But let's see now. Let me open up the. Okay, nice. I wanna start off with the finale, and then we can move on into like season 2 in general. And I am gonna say I'm sorry. For the first time, I did not look up your videos this week because I was just waiting to for this moment and to hear it from you guys. I did listen a little bit here and there, so I kind of have an idea of what you guys how you guys enjoyed or not the season finale. So yes, I think we will start. I should have done drawings, honestly, in order for like whoever wanted to start. But is there anyone that wants to break the ice with season 2 finale? If not, I'm probably gonna choose. JJ, it seems like
there you go. There you go.
Okay, there you go, Marc. There you go, Marc.
Marc spoke first. Go.
Let's go.
I will say this. I definitely enjoyed the season 2 finale. I thought it was a really good episode. I just wish there were more seasonal storylines that may have been tied up in it. Like the way it ended, it was cool seeing all the armies moving across Westeros, all the ships moving. We're like, okay, I understand where everything is going to end up at. But I don't feel like there were enough storylines from the season that we kind of got to see that conclusion from. But so I'm saying good episode, just probably just a little better closing it out. That's probably why we needed 10 episodes.
I have a feeling, and I was going to just kind of follow up what you just said. There's talk on the internet, I can't confirm if it's true or not, that the 10 episode was planned out. And once the strikes in America started from the SAG-AFTRA, and HBO chopped up essentially 2 episodes out, which is why it feels so quote unquote incomplete. A lot of people felt it was a little like not as big as it could have been. Like when I saw the gullet movement, it reminded me of Daenerys sailing to Dragonstone for the first time, that kind of like similar season finale vibes. But I understand why people thought this felt more like a penultimate versus a grand season finale, because it felt incomplete due to cutting of episodes. Yeah. So I don't know what the real story is behind it, but when you look at the product as a whole, it kind of makes sense. I don't know if anybody else has thought on that.
I had a really good comment that someone left on one of my things the other day, and I just want to read it out to you because it really like stuck with me. This person, Millie97, said, I'm actually super duper excited for season 3. Season 1 is the introduction. Season 2 is character development. Season 3 is the war. And season 4 is the finale. And I really liked how they said that, because that made sense, given that this season has been a lot of character development, a lot of like putting the groundwork in, and now we're kind of on the precipice, and then it sort of segues into season 3. So I liked the season, and I liked the finale, but it did feel a little bit like not a full finale, but it does feel like it was part of the groundwork that they were laying. And so I can see when this person said this, I could see all 4 seasons kind of separated up, and I'm like, I think that's where they're going with this. I think anyway. That's my 2 cents anyway.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. WesterosiO, you were gonna say something?
No.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I can definitely talk about it. Like, I think I made a few TikToks. I said I found the enjoyment from the episode. Like, I could find enjoyment. I can find fun from the episode. But just to regurgitate what everybody else just said, it didn't feel like what I'm saying, it should have been the 10 episode thing. Like, it didn't feel like a finale of finales. It felt like we were expecting a bit more. But like as an episode, as a singular episode, not focusing it on a finale. Yeah. And I think that's where the negative comments come from, is the fact that it was the finale. If that episode was just episode 7, episode 8, whatever, people are like,
It was fine. Like, to me, it was almost 10 out of 10. Like, it's such a great setup. Like, a lot of character journeys are tying up. Like, particularly Alan and Corlys Velaryon. Like, that was one of my favorite scenes in the entire episode. Like, it was building so much towards that. But I was so convinced that I've made videos like last year, it's going to end on Gullet battle.
Yeah.
Like, I was so sure it was headed to Gullet, the actual battle. But
halfway through the season, I was like, okay, it's going to end on King's Landing. But then, that's because I thought they were changing the timeline around. But then, obviously, the 8 episodes kind of prevented anything from happening, really.
Somebody just asked why they cut Cregan Stark. Why is he there to begin with? Like,
I'm like,
these are some of
to go to the level of getting the guy in the gear. Like, it wasn't like, they planned it. They had him come down that day, and then cut it after.
Honestly, I was sorry to keep interrupting, but like I saw it on Twitter, whatever, X, whatever it's called, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, Cregan Stark," and I was just like, "Why is he here?
Why is he there?"
Like, I know they but why was it even a thought process in the first place? Do you know what I mean?
Like, they were right to cut him, but why film it?
Exactly.
That's the weird bit.
That's it. And that again flies into like 10 versus 8 episodes for season 2. That's exactly what it felt like. Even like Rhaena with Sheep Stealer, it felt incomplete. I have a feeling she claims that dragon in season 2, but they cut it because they trimmed the season from 10 to 8.
Right.
That's sort of like what it felt like to me.
So I wanted to get Estella before we get carried away.
Sorry. I get so focused listening to everyone because I think everyone.
No. I know. I'm over here.
Yeah. Thoughts. I mean, not to regurgitate what everyone else has been saying, but again, yeah, the finale, I thought it was very good. I really enjoyed it. But at the same time, it did feel like a episode 8 or 9. And as we now know, like we were saying, not quite confirmed, but it does seem like there were supposed to be 10 episodes, and the gullet was probably supposed to be this finale. But I like what Kellie said about this season being all about character development, because if you think about it that way, then maybe ending on a big battle wouldn't really make sense for the theming of this season.
Yeah.
That's my way of coping with it. I really enjoyed the episode, though. I have been working on a little 3-part series on Sharako Lohar, and I really enjoyed her introduction.
Love it.
I did too, yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I liked her more than Thailand. Like, he was
Yeah.
like bore off Thailand.
Right? And so I think...
And we love Thailand, so that was to steal a scene from him. Like, it's crazy.
Exactly.
Yep.
And so I've been seeing, too, a lot of, like, you know, complaints or pain points about the character, the introduction, but I think largely it's coming from the fact that, like we were saying, we focused on that versus tying up some of these other loose ends. And I feel like if we had 2 more episodes, people wouldn't feel that way. People wouldn't have those complaints. But
I
you know,
agree.
that's how it is. But those are kind of my initial thoughts on that. So
That's awesome. So I think a lot of people have been getting like confused when it comes, and I feel like in general with season 2 in general, but now that we're talking just about the finale so far, it's so funny to me how some people feel that for us to not, like, if there's something that we felt could have been done better, they feel like that we need to take whichever aspect we didn't feel like it was done good and make it our whole personality and make it our whole like mission to crap on everything else that we loved. You know, like, yes, I didn't like the fact that Reyna did not claim Sheep Stealer, because first of all, I've already made up my mind. I've already convinced myself and like made myself forget about the fact that Nettles, which is one of my absolute favorite characters in Fire and Blood, is not going to be part of the show. So I was like, just get it over with, man. Let's do this. Give me Reyna with Sheep Stealer. I love Reyna, so whatever. There's ways that I feel like it could work, and then we ultimately did not get it. That was to me like, man, you know, I didn't like that. I feel like it was such a tease, especially with the fact that I've kind of talked about this on my previous live videos, but this season I was astounded by the fact that they went so deep into the whole bonding. People are forgetting that bonding is one of the big aspects of this season. Yes, we got Vhagar and Aemond in season 1, but man, what we got with Adam and Sea Smoke was incredible. What we got in the Red Sowing with Vermithor and the Dragon Seeds was absolutely incredible. Creepy, you know, and in terms of, when I say creepy, is like obviously for them because they were just about to become food, most of them. But it was done so good. And then afterwards, freaking Ulf getting Silverwing, which I was just mind blown by the design. I loved it. But yeah, I thought that having Reyna claiming Sheep Stealer this season would have been such a good like way to finish off season 2. And make it season 2 like the season where a lot of the big bonds that will change the course of the story big time happened. So yeah, I don't know what you guys think, but
sorry to interrupt. I wanted to bring up, did you all see that little clip from Ryan Condal talking about the Reyna Nettles Sheep Stealer plot, where people asked him specifically, they said, you know, is Reyna getting Nettles plot? And he kind of danced around the question. And he
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a
so
quote thing. Yeah.
to me being delusional, I'm like, oh, so maybe that means it's not solidified yet. And if they see the fans want Nettles enough, we'll still maybe get her.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's open-ended, isn't it? Like they've left themselves wiggle room if they wanted to change it between now and then.
You're right.
But I feel like the way I've looked at this season and the things I've really enjoyed is the character development. And I do feel like Raina got sort of short shrift. Like we got some development, but hers is still left on a cliffhanger. And I'm like, I don't want to get all tinfoil hat, but I'm like, why does Raina have like the worst luck? Like nothing's going right for her. She's miserable. She's cold. No one's really like giving her any attention. It's a bit like Frosty with Jane Aaron. Why did Raina get shit on all season and then it's still open-ended? I kind of feel for her. That's like how I'm kind of thinking about that. And I wonder if they are deliberately giving themselves space to change their minds or to do something else. I'm not sure, but it does feel like a bit of a cop out for Raina, you know.
But it does make me wonder though, like if it's let's just hypothetically, no spoilers and anything like that. Hypothetically, they leave room for Nettles to come back be introduced in season 3, like. But the way they sort of framed Raina and Sheepstealer, like this is the goal for the character. This is endgame for the character.
Yep.
So you introduce Nettles, then what's the plan for Raina? Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's muddying the waters because you've got two distinctive characters, and now it's like, what is this that we're doing? It's like what is this thing? Do you know what I mean? Like,
do you give her a gray ghost? Do you give her gray ghost? Do you have her hatch an egg? What do you do? Yeah. Like, if you were gonna go with Nettles in season 3 and have her like pop up out of behind Sheepstealer, like, hey, it's my dragon. I can totally see that, and I think it would be kind of a fun thing. But I'm curious what they will do with Raina if they opt out for Nettles to include her in season 3.
Yeah, would they go with more of the book plot for her if they decide not to go that route? I can see them just, what happens to her in the book, maybe that happens, and maybe we just get a little less of her instead of her riding Sheepstealer. Because I still got my fingers crossed on Nettles. We got like 4 months for us to all convince them to put Nettles in the show.
Exactly. Tweet hard.
Yeah, I think that. Can you guys hear me? By the way, I don't see.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yellow. Okay, cool. So I have, and JJ, you kind of mentioned it right now with the whole gray ghost stuff. I have a cool theory, which I will only the way I will tell you guys will be a little bit obviously, because it could include spoilers. I'm gonna be really careful with it. But for those of you that know about Fire and Blood, you know about Grey Ghost, which JJ just mentioned. What if, whenever the whole thing with that moment, that scene that we got with Sheepstealer and Raina, which to me it's freaking funny. It was such a funny scene because Sheepstealer is over there just munching on his food, and all of a sudden looks up and is like, "What the hell are you doing up there? Get out of here!"
My lunchtime.
Yes, exactly. It's like, go, shoot. But what if at that moment, it turns out that yes, Nettles in fact is part of the show, and it turns out that Sheepstealer, she's bonded with Sheepstealer, but then she teaches Raina another way, because we all know how Nettles managed to bond with Sheepstealer. She teaches Raina, who has been struggling to bond with a dragon, how she could use, the form of feeding the dragon certain things. And as we know, Grey Ghost is a dragon that loves fish. And I'll leave it at that. Who knows? And ultimately, and ultimately, we know something that happens to Grey Ghost later on, which I'm not going to spoil again. For those of you, I'm talking right now to everyone that has read Fire and Blood, which it seems in the chat is a lot of people, but still, something happens to Grey Ghost, which, if we think about it, it would lead into Raina not having a dragon again, and ultimately getting what we got in Fire and Blood, which is mourning. And I'll leave it at that. I don't know what you guys think. Maybe it's stupid. Maybe, I don't know.
Hey, anything is possible.
Anything
Hey.
can happen. I was literally.
Yeah,
There are
I've
no
been thinking
rules,
about that.
really.
And I will say too, I know like one of the questions got a little spoilery and we weren't really going to talk about it. I think it was regarding Moonbeam. I'm really bad with the dragon names.
Morning?
Yeah.
Um,
Moon Dancer?
no, is it
Morning?
the
Morning?
little blue dragon that we see Reyna with at the Veil? What is that?
Oh, Stormcloud.
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 Yeah.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you, Stormcloud. Because isn't Stormcloud supposed to be bigger in Fire and Blood to do certain things? So if Stormcloud is not big enough to do those things that I'm alluding to, maybe it'll have to be either Sheep Stealer or Grey Ghost
Oh, man.
to take those certain actions that dragon will need to do.
HBO, if you're not in the chat right now, I need you to pop in.
Because that's one of the things I had to one of the questions that I think we're not going to do, but like, how are they going to?
How are they gonna do that?
Yeah, because what's it? Stormcloud is so small. I'm like, I don't know how it's possible to do anything. I didn't know how that was going to work. So
I agree.
That was a chicken, not a dragon. That was tiny. Like literally.
What did Jane Iron say? Like, it's as big as my hound dog. That is, my hound dogs are bigger.
I'm like, this little me probably can ride Stormcloud. I don't know what else.
No, he's this big, literally.
Literally.
Wes, Mike, were you gonna say something? I saw you.
I'm just laughing. I'm just enjoying my time.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna grab my charger. Just 2 seconds. Carry on.
Yeah. You're good. You're good. But yeah, I think that the finale, it gave me more good things than bad. To me, honestly, ultimately, the bad were, I wish we would have gotten Reyna and Sheep Stealer, and then the other one was well, it's kind of tied up to the whole Sheep Stealer and Reyna not getting the screen time, but Thailand and Lowheart, which I absolutely loved, but it got to a point where I was like, man, they got 3 scenes. I feel like we could have done with 2, and who knows if even just 1, maybe a little bit longer, and just give that to either explain or do the whole Sheep Stealer and Reyna. That's one of the things that I wish would have happened.
But that's exactly like why it looks like they chopped it from 10 to 8.
Yep,
exactly the result of this. So like whatever in your head, you're like, oh, I didn't get enough of this, too many of this, too much of this. It's a result of chopping.
See,
in my
Good.
Very well, Susan. How are you?
Yeah, Cole and Gwen deserve more screen time. Absolutely. Kristen Cole, hot take, great character.
I didn't realize how much I was going to love watching Kristen Cole this season.
Same
character, but that speech at the end, I know some people. I heard some people saying like, "Oh, they didn't like it." I'm like, I thought that was a terrific speech. That was like his broken man speech.
It was his. Thank you. I said the same thing. That's so true.
Yes, and whoever Kristen Cole's been like an A-tier character. Just seeing how how the dumb decisions he made, all the way up to doing a smart battle plan, all the way up to seeing what happens when you actually see dragons fight. I'm like, that was one of the few characters that had a complete seasonal arc.
I agree.
He needed that as well, because like he's been the bad guy, just kind of irredeemable really for like the first season. Like he didn't do a lot of great things, and if they just carried on with him being just completely bad and cold and not feeling anything, it wouldn't have played very well. So I do think they've done a really good thing with showing like, oh, this actually has hit him really hard, and it wasn't something he expected to happen, because when he saw what he saw, like it's just screwed him up ever since. Like he's just still not right. And I like how they've done that, and it's like a smart choice, because you don't want to caricature a villain who's just mean and horrible all the time.
They like the fandom was so like focused on hating him and like making fun of him. Is like, why do I need scenes of Kristen Cole moping? I'm like, pay attention to dialogue and to general theme of A Song of Ice and Fire, which again plays with the idea of Kingsguard and taking an oath. What does that actually mean? How is that change? How does that change a person? How does that impact a person? Like only the entire current saga has a running theme of that, and a POV character, Jaime Lannister, and somebody quote tweeted me. He's like, "Oh, fucking dare you compare Jaime Lannister to Kristen Cole?" I'm like, that's not what I was doing. So when I say media literacy is dead, especially in Song of Ice and Fire, and that's what I mean. Like, you took that and you thought I was comparing Jaime Lannister to Kristen Cole. Like, we need to open schools. I'm dead serious. Like, Kristen Cole has been consistently a great villain, like a complex villain, and people want Ramsay Bolton and Joffrey. Correct. Yeah. Joffrey Baratheon and Ramsay Bolton, so they could just straight up hate on a villain. But that's not what Kristen Cole is here for. Sorry.
I agree. Carry on.
Yeah,
Estella was gonna say something, I think.
I was going to say, I agree 100%. And I think, I see a lot of people complaining online, and it's this, like Ruben was saying in the beginning, this loud kind of minority that makes themselves really known. That, they're like, oh, this doesn't make sense. This is a waste of time. This is filler, because they're not seeing the greater themes in things. Because chivalry, knighthood, oaths, like those are all huge themes throughout this story. And again, I'm bringing it back to Sharako Lohar because I keep thinking about this character, because people were saying, oh, this character doesn't make sense, it has nothing to do with the plot. And I'm like, you're saying a female character who is in a position of power and is gendered as a man by her society and is able to be queer has nothing to do with the greater plot, like with Rhaenyra's storyline? Like, they're direct kind of parallels in a way to what Rhaenyra can't do in Westeros. Like, how are we missing these big themes, guys?
You know what? I'm going to say it. I cannot help but wonder if it's rooted, and it is, in transphobia in a lot of ways. They just don't want to say it. So they're going to skirt around it and say character is useless. Like, you're being transphobic and you don't want to put it out there. Let's keep it a buck.
Yep.
But also it's people want to hate on Cole because they just want to hate him. Like, no, you can hate him, he's a villain, but his story does have thematic merit. Like, his story,
all of them do, in a grand scheme of things. When you look at each character, the Hall brothers, Kristen Cole and Gwaine Hightower, even Alicent and Rhaenyra, everything has a purpose behind. Even Daemon, and the thing is, people have no patience. None whatsoever. Like, these storylines have yet to pay off at the finale, because that's how television works.
Yes,
that is so true.
I think.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just about to say, now that JJ was mentioning other characters that are supposed to be hated, and people feel get so blinded by the fact that, oh, I can only hate this person but not understand them. And Kellie, when we got together on the pod before, we talked about how you love and I love as well. I think you said opening the bonnet of the car. I think that's the way. And
opening the hood and looking underneath.
Yeah.
And
I like that.
Peeling back the layers, as it were.
Exactly. And I absolutely love doing that. And in my case, it was, and I know someone asked it on the email questions, which we'll go to that soon. But man, I was mind blown as to how much I loved Aegon. Tom Glencarney, obviously, I don't love his actions. He's done really, really bad things, but Tom Glencarney managed to portray that character in ways that I honestly didn't think were possible. I was ready to hate on Aegon, absolutely hate on Aegon. And man, a lot of times I just felt bad for him. He gave me some of the most touching moments, which we can talk about, with the booping moment with between him and Sunfire. Man, I don't know. It's incredible. And the sad thing is that a lot of people are just so focused on hating instead of understanding the characters. And you don't have to support let me see if some people can understand. You can understand where a character comes from, but you don't have to support that. It doesn't turn you into a villain or into the person. But
Ruben, just the fact that you have to give that disclaimer out as if you're talking to children.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the problem. Is now every time I say I love Tywin Lannister, literally a top tier character in the Song of Ice and Fire. He's a great character. So is Stannis. So is Robert Baratheon. They all have they're great characters. If I say Stannis Baratheon, great character, you love killing people, you love raping people, like talking to children, the fact that you have to disclaim that Aegon the Elder is a great character, and people are going to be like, you like rape? I'm like, that's the state of the fandom we're in. I swear to God. And I hate it. We're not children. Like, you're adults reading a very adult fantasy. Like, and the fact that you have to explain that breaks my heart.
I feel like the old man saying this, but I know I've seen a couple comments of people just saying like, "Oh yeah, it wasn't even good enough for me to look up from my phone," and I'm like, "Well, you're not even watching the show, so how are you having this whole opinion on it if you only look up to see if there's a battle going on?"
You're like, a lot of people are like tweeting while watching. Like, put down the phone and pay attention to the dialogue. Like, my God, what are we, kids?
I feel like people are cutting their noses off to spite their face. Like, they're not giving any characters like the benefit of the doubt. They're jumping the gun, and it's like, I feel like we all probably agree on this. Like, I can't think of any character that is not like good and bad. Like, I hate to say morally gray, but like every single character is written in a way where you can understand why they are the way they are. It's not all bad things. They're not. We've learned over the years not to write anyone off, because you never know, you know, the other side of the coin, and people are just jumping the gun and going, I could never like X, Y, and Z without giving themselves a chance. And especially, as you say, on a as yet unfinished show, there's still a lot more to come, and people are like judge, jury, executioner, like people like Kristen Cole or Damon or a variety of characters. Sometimes people just write them off without giving them a chance. And it's like, one of the things I always like say, like if I could give anyone advice, is never write anyone off, because you will be surprised, because everyone has different sides to their character. I think the only person who I really do struggle with is probably Ramsay Bolton.
Ramsay Bolton.
He doesn't have a lot going in his favor, but even still, I can't say he was entirely awful, like 99% awful, but there is still 1% where I maybe give him a teeny benefit of the doubt, because I don't want to be proven wrong for having not considered all of this character's storylines, arc, everything that makes them who they are. Does that make sense?
No, it does. And some characters, I think, like Ramsay Bolton, I'm going to use them, or Joffrey Baratheon, I'm going to say they're written in a specific way to take your ire. You may feel some ire, let's say, for Jaime Lannister, introduced as a sister forker who tries to kill a 7-year-old. Like, in your head,
when you put it like that,
but you know, like, when you're reading the book and you read that and you're like, what the hell? Like, and then as the books progress, he becomes literally one of the most compelling points of view in the entire saga. So it's like you said, you have to give benefit of a doubt, particularly a POV character. Always trust the POV. Yeah. Maybe Ramsay Bolton and Joffrey Baratheon and Joffrey Baratheon is a child as well. Let's keep it a buck too. Like, they are specifically written to be really evil, not even gray, in my opinion. I don't know. Like, they're the ones that are supposed to take on your ire.
Oh no, what happened?
Ruben?
Something.
What's going on?
Oh, okay.
We lost him.
Oh no.
Well,
are we all disappearing?
Yeah, I think we all might be kicked out. No.
Not even gray. In my opinion, I don't know. Like, they're the ones that are supposed to
Okay, I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Damn it.
Nobody has background noise like television or kids. I don't know. Thanos snap. Don't mention Thanos to me, please. That purple bastard is still after me.
He put Avengers in it. That's what happens. Oh my god.
So on that same topic that we were speaking about before we all disappeared, I agree. I think that in A Song of Ice and Fire, there are the few characters who are like irredeemably evil, like Rorge and Biter and, you know, the Mountain and characters like that. But I don't think in House of the Dragon we have any of those. I think they're doing a very good job at fleshing all these characters out and making them believable, real people. But the fandom acts like they're these irredeemable evil characters, which kind of drives me nuts.
Yes. Sorry, that's spot on.
I said that, yes. It's like, it's the intensity of what people say. Like, people take it to heart so much, and it's not that deep, and we don't have enough compelling evidence yet to write people off completely. And I think we've seen that with a character like Aegon, where you see different facets. It doesn't mean we're co-signing what he does, but you can understand he didn't just wake up one day and choose to do random things. It's all connected to the wider story of how he got to be the way he was. Doesn't mean I'm like cheering him on. You can understand it, right? And that's the thing. Like, people just get too ahead of themselves and they think, oh, they take something and then they convolute it into something else. Like, oh, you meant this. And I'm like, no, I did not. If I meant that, I would have said that. You know?
They wanted Kristen Cole to be Ramsay Bolton, and that's just not happening. And there's not even enough evidence, even Fire and Blood, to suggest that he's Ramsay Bolton equivalent. And again, you're gonna hear us use Ramsay Bolton a lot because it's an archetype of like really sadistic evil.
Yeah.
Really
like, if we're going to write
evil.
anyone off, he's probably the one. Like, there's not a lot of redemption there, but I think there's like still like that tiny grain. You never quite know, but that window is like shutting quickly. Like,
like tiny. Uh-oh. We're having a bunch of technical difficulties.
Ahí está. Conéctate. I swear to God, I feel like Alys Rivers is trying to mess our podcast episode. Alys, leave right now.
We keep coming back though, so I'm like, okay, I'm not touching anything. It's okay.
Yeah. Don't. Okay. Every time it's pushing us out for some reason. I just disconnected my phone from the Wi-Fi. I don't think that's the problem, but I think it just takes us back to that little lobby. I think you guys might be able to see it on your left, and I can bring you all back, or bring us all back. So yeah, I'm technically the Tony Stark right now. I get to snap all of us back. But yeah, I'm sorry. What were you saying? Kellie,
we're just talking about the characters not being written off completely, especially not in House of the Dragon. There is no Ramsay Boltons in House of the Dragon. So.
Yeah,
exactly.
People get ahead of themselves.
Correct.
JJ, I was gonna. You said the other day. I think it was on the pod. It might have been on the podcast with Salam Nerds. Was it?
Yes, love those guys.
Which they're awesome. So you mentioned something that it was great, and you said that this season felt to you like a feast for crows. And I thought it was great for you to say that, because I had just finished a few days before the finale for season 2. I had just finished Feast, and man, I can totally see it. Yeah, I don't know if you wanted to. I meant to ask you if there's a way for you to expand on that a little bit more. But if not, it's okay.
I mean, oh God, I could go into heavy detail about that.
No, you're fine.
I don't want to take up time from House of the Dragon talk about Feast for Crows. It's an underrated Game of Thrones book. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you. I kept saying the same thing. Well, I thought it's a good time right now because I feel like with the season 2 finale talk, it kind of led into the season 2 general thoughts talk, and I've got the questions right here. So if you guys are ready for that?
Sure.
Awesome. Cool. Okay. So, like I said, thank you to everyone that sent in questions. You guys are incredible. There were a lot of really good questions. Sadly, some of them included big time spoilers, so we won't be able to bring them up. But yes, well, we sort of brought it up with the Stormcloud stuff. But yeah, the first question that I have here is from Sith Warrior Chick. That's a pretty cool name. And says, "Hey there, I'm really enjoying all the creators on today's stream. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Because at the end of the day, this is all supposed to be fun for everyone in the fandom." I just love the fact that they started the question or their questions with that remark. And I appreciate you so much. So the first question was, this series as a whole is a tragedy, but there are nuggets of humor thrown in once in a while by the characters. What was your favorite comedic moment of season 2? Oh my God, there were some really good ones. So, WesterosiO, starting with you. Oh wait, I think I can't hear you. Uh-oh. No, I can't hear you. No. No, don't do this. Okay. Marc, I'll go with you.
All right.
Since you're
Comedic
next
moment. I have a kind of a comedic arc because I was thinking of the question, and it would probably be Aegon and his crew, his three little night cronies. Just seeing them not taking anything serious the whole season. Just they got white cloaks, don't know how they did that, and then for it to end with them not taking things serious at the when they were outside, what was it, the Sept, and they didn't know what to do. They panicked. One of them ended up being pulled apart. The other two stripped of their white cloaks. Like that, it wasn't funny outside the Sept, but it was funny to see how it all ended up for him, to me.
Yes. Yep. Estella?
I mean, there's so many great ones this season. I will say it was early in the season, but I did find it very funny when Aegon was like, can we just give them their sheet back? No one will know, you know?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and
good.
Otto kept having to walk back up and keep telling him, like, okay, no, we can't do that. It just showed how ill-prepared they were. And so I felt like it was a very good scene because it showcased, you know, these character building moments of, you know, oh, they're not a unified team, but also it was very funny. So.
Kellie?
My favorite was also an Aegon moment. It was him trying to speak High Valyrian and failing miserably.
My God.
I was not expecting that. I was honestly expecting him to be fairly decent. Not as good as Aemond, but decent. I think I can speak better High Valyrian than Aegon, and I did it for about 2 days on Duolingo, and then I gave up. And so my limitations are clear, but it was just so brilliant to show, as Estella said, about how out of their depth these kids are. But like Aegon in particular, he's just so out of his depth. And it says a lot about him. Like, it was a nice little nugget to show he's not that in tune with his Targaryen Valyrianness. Like, he's kind of put that on the back burner and not given it much thought. And it was just so funny, but like cringy, but also like hilarious. That was my moment.
It's funny because my Latinx friends and whatnot, a lot of them were saying, "Oh, he's a no salvo Valerian." Oh man, that shit was funny. But yeah, JJ, what did you think was a moment that
I don't know if it was a comedic moment, but I had a smile ear to ear, and whenever I need a serotonin boost, I put it on repeat to give myself some happiness and joy in life.
Yes.
When Sea Smoke claimed Adam.
Oh my God.
It was cute. It was kind of funny too, because the way he was like stalking him, like flirting with him, dancing with him, like you knew he was like targeting him from like earlier episodes because he was flying above his head when he was collecting stuff.
It was
on
like
the
a
beach.
giant sand play pit. Like, he was
correct. He was having fun. Like, he wanted him, and he like went after him. And my favorite part, poor Adam, he's running through the forest and he trips and he falls, and he's like, I might be safe. The trees are kind of guarding him, and the Cecil just like drifts like one of those cats on a smooth floor when it's running away from things. And, like, the back legs are like, I was crying. And every time I need serotonin boost, I just watch Sea Smoke claim Adam. It is probably my favorite moment, number one of the entire season. It is so good. And also when you tie it into the fact that Dragon is claiming the right and not the other way around, like, it just adds like all these different layers of like why that seed just like hits so good. I would have loved to see him climb on him just to see how that works. Like, was he comfortable? This is
very tentative, I imagine.
Like, very slowly, especially after like Stefan Darkly, he's like, "Oh, I got it." I'm like, "Don't say that, you dumb fuck!" Like, wait till you're on the saddle. So to me, Sea Smoke and Adam remain like that. The drifting and the horror kind of aspect, chase through the woods. It was very like slasher movie style too, but comedic too. I loved it.
Kind of like Scooby Doo, a little bit. Sort of
little bit, yes.
Yes.
Loved it. Loved it.
Let's see if WesterosiO's Mike.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Thank
awesome.
God.
Yay. I don't know. Sorry if somebody already said it, but I got cut out for a bit. My favorite was Aegon, obviously, when he's fighting Rhaenys and he sees Vhagar, he sees Aemond coming, and he screams, "Thank the gods!" And then And then he's like, and he starts screaming, and it just made me laugh.
He went from a big smile on his face to holy shit, he's actually gonna kill me.
I like how most of all of ours was talking about Aegon. Aegon was kind of a central point.
And the surprising humor of the season.
Yeah,
yes,
the honorable mention was him being like, he's pretending to be his own twin. It's brilliant. And he like gives a smile, and Otto's just looking at him like, you idiot.
You idiots.
I have to say, even though, like I mentioned earlier, Aegon was a big surprise for me, and now I could definitely say the whole scene where he was explaining how he has to pee now because his sausage is not doing good. It's it's not doing good. But
is that funny or is that really messed up? I don't know.
No. It's messed up. It's messed up. But he just kept explaining, like giving out details of how it's really bad that it became so much. Yes.
What did he say? Explaining. Pop like a sausage or something like that?
Yeah, because he just keeps explaining it to Larys, and Larys is over here telling him all these other explanations as how he's going to be the king of this, the king of that, the one that came back, the one that, I don't know, it was just funny to me. But an honorable mention, I feel like it has to be, even though I'm sure he didn't plan for it, but damn it, to me it was funny every time. Simon Strong.
Oh, MVP. The GOAT.
Best character this season.
Best dressed character? Agreed?
Oh, yes.
Holy shit. He was serving like Lannister looks from Game of Thrones earlier seasons. He looked incredible. All of the budget went
the
for
kids
Simon
call
Strong.
it drip or something. Like
the youth say drip.
I'm gonna say that's where all the Harrenhal money went. It was all in his clothes.
Yeah, this is it.
Oh, that's funny.
Great character. Great character.
Yeah, I feel like that was definitely a funny. But Aegon, I think we can all agree that Aegon ultimately was the man. It was impressive what he did, and not only
Tom
on
Glencarney is amazing this entire season. Like I gotta say, he's been my favorite consistently episode to episode. So
I think I have watched that moment after Blood and Cheese. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there she is.
There we go.
Say hi.
She's so awesome.
She's my best girl.
Man. Oh, it's always great whenever. No. Believe me, it's always great when
interruptions. More than happy for that.
More than happy. Let me go to the other part of the question. So we said that the other part, it's a three-parter, but there are characters in Fire and Blood that I absolutely detested. The book's narrative may or may not be the actual how it actually happened in real life or in the story. Were there any characters portrayed in the show that made you understand them better, change your opinion of them? Oh, that's a I think we sort of talked about Kristen Cole earlier, which is interesting. Aegon definitely in my opinion, but if you guys think there's another one,
Daemon. It has to be Daemon.
Yes, it has to be Daemon. True.
For me personally, because again, like I always wondered why was he slashing that weirwood tree in Fire and Blood? They never go into any exposition to why those slashes are there and they bleed every spring. So it makes you wonder what the hell was going on at Harrenhal. Even within Fire and Blood, when all you know, he was there, he was raising army for Rhaenyra, end of story. And so when people complain about his arc, he's like, didn't he go to Riverlands or Harrenhal to raise army? Literally what he does in the show. But they kind of fill in the blanks to what was happening, like as far as like internally, where he was sleeping, who he was talking to, what he was eating, like stuff like that wouldn't be in a history book. So to me, the way they tied his fate into the Weirwoods and the prophecy, how things are going to play out for the future, I see what they're doing, kind of without spoilers, but also like it recontextualizes Fire and Blood as far as the tree, because him slashing that tree has always been a source of mystery for me. Why slash the tree? So I think we kind of can gauge why. To me, Daemon, like, did it go on a little too long? Did I want to see son have sex with his mother? No. Could I have done it differently? Yes. Alyssa could have shown up as clothed, sitting down with him. talking with him. Didn't need to do any of that, in my opinion. I thought it was unnecessary.
Yeah.
But I get the point of that story, how changes things, especially sets him up, I'm sorry, for the future. If that makes sense. So.
That's perfect.
Oh, and somebody said Hugh Hammer. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Hugh Hammer, Aegon. Yeah.
I think a few people have said that in the chat, and that was going to be my kind of vote, because so far he is quite an empathetic character. We've got this backstory. We've seen the struggle. It's not just a man who maybe is ambitious or just hoping to try something. There's a reason why he's doing this, and it's tied to what his family are going through. And it's kind of like, what do I make of my life now? This is such a huge opportunity. I don't want to mess it up. And what we've seen of him has been like, he's been able to conduct himself correctly compared to Ulf. You know, like Ulf is kind of sketchy and kind of ties in with, you know, what we may have heard about him in the story in the book. But Hugh Hammer seems much more nuanced, and that's been really impressive because, you know, you might not think that he had the reasons that he did, and especially when you see his wife, the lack of food, the child, all of that pushing him to do what he's doing. I liked that. I thought that was a clever addition to the existing story.
Agreed.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite characters from the book. So seeing him get all that extra characterization, I was always thinking like there has to be a reason he does what he does, and like just seeing his whole story. I like that. But I guess I'll go. One character for me that I didn't know I would like so much would probably be Alfred Broom from the Team Black's Small Council. Just seeing him earlier in the season, seeing him kept saying, "Hey, this is what we need to do," and Rhaenyra kind of dismissing him on her side, like, "Hey, we're not gonna try to get an arm. We're gonna go a different way." And just seeing how frustrated he got to the point that he tried to overthrow her with Daemon. That not working either, and now him figuring out where he's going to go next because he got out of there really quick. Yeah.
He got the hell out of Dodge, quite rightly too. Like, I would not be hanging around.
But like in the grand scheme of things, when you look at the council, Green versus Black Council, the way they were moving, the Rhaenyra's council had every right to be frustrated for total lack of action. Like Aemond and Aegon and Criston Cole, they're moving. They're taking over Crown lands. Like they are literally strategizing and moving along this war while Rhaenyra is like contemplating, do I start the war now? Like it started a while ago. So I can see why her council was frustrated with her. And also you couple that with like gendered view of the queen versus the king, which obviously kind of a lot of it plays into it. So, but Alfred Broom alone, he's like, we need strength. Rhaenyra is not demonstrating that strength, however you define that strength, whether internal or external, like, is it screaming alpha power or just like quiet power? So the way he views it is he sees that in Daemon. So Alfred Brown, great character. I agree. I 100% agree. Yes, Lars.
Estella, I thought I saw you. Were you going to say something? Or?
Oh, no. I'm listening to everyone. But we're discussing favorite characters this season, or like characters this
change.
No, yeah, pretty much the ones that were portrayed in the show or in the book one way, but then when we got them in the show were, you know, different than what you were expecting. But now,
I feel like, on a smaller scale, I'm gonna like bring up two. And we've already talked about this a little bit, but Rhaena and then Lady Jane. I feel like both of those characters, and it's not to say I'm upset about how they're being portrayed, but it is different than how I would have pictured it from the books and how their plots are playing out. And so it makes me more curious than anything to see what the show plans to do with these characters versus like getting angry about it. So
yeah,
I would also say, sorry.
Oh, no, go,
mentioned
Kellie.
just the phrase House Frey with their kind of negotiation with Jace. That was not something I was expecting, because they were kind of playing hardball, and it seemed more about, okay, how can we capitalize on this situation, as opposed to in the book, I took it as more, well, you know, we gave our word, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to see them be as like, I don't think duplicitous is the word, but they were kind of like, okay, how can we benefit the most? What can we?
But that tracks. That tracks so much with House Frey. Like, so accurate.
Very true. Yeah.
WesterosiO, did you have a specific character?
I feel like I'm cheating with my answer, because I can't really think of one from season 2 that isn't just completely different. from the book, if that makes sense. Like, obviously, we've been given motivations about Hugh Hammer, which, you know, motivations are always good. You just don't want somebody to do something because they're bad.
Yeah.
But one that's always, I would always think of is Viserys from the first season.
Oh.
Like, he's his character from the book to his character from the show is significantly better, in my opinion, in every aspect. But I don't know if anybody agrees. But
the author agrees with you. George R. Martin has said that Viserys on House of the Dragon is better than Viserys in Fire and Blood, which is a huge compliment that you can get as a showrunner for the author to say that. And also Helena, he mentioned Fia Saban, and like this interpretation of Helena is much better in the show than it is in the book.
Yeah,
and I agree.
I mean, talk about a compliment. Like, for the own author to say you took it above and beyond. I mean, that is just like, that's the goal.
Ultimate. That's the goal right there.
Yeah. So the next question says, who was your favorite, pretty much, I'm paraphrasing right now, but which one was your favorite character from Team Black or Team Green?
From each, or like
from
one
each,
from
from
both?
each.
Oh,
I'm sorry. One for each.
Okay.
Okay, this is going to sound... Okay. My favorite character from Team Green is Aemond, because he's the only one that's actually trying to do what Team Green should be doing. Does that make sense?
No, it does.
Like,
total sense.
Like, Team Green should be trying to win the war. Both sides should be trying to win the war. And it seems like Aemond, I understand why they threw it in, but with Kristen Cole and Alicent, their relationship this season, I'm the biggest fan. Otto Hightower, I like Otto Hightower, but Aemond, I feel like he's just actually that's all he can focus on is winning the war, and that's what I want the character to do. If that,
yeah,
so that's why.
Yes, that definitely feels true to his character. Like even going from the book, like, okay, hey, he's a single track mind. This is what we need to do. This is we're gonna go win the war. There's no side quest for us.
Exactly. Yeah. No, spot on. My favorite character from Team Black. Is it cliche? I'm not going to go cliche, because in season 2, my favorite character from Team Black has been Jace, and I'm so surprised. I'm so surprised I said that, because I made a TikTok. I said in season 1, I'm not going to lie, he was kind of boring. I know he didn't have a lot of stuff to do, but in season 2, again, similar to Aemond, he's not the only one, but like, he's so focused on what is the goal, and I don't know, I like that.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Anyone else wanted to add?
I'll go with mine. I was gonna say Jace would be one of mine as well, but I also really like Baela. I feel like she's just got her head screwed on so right, and it's like she's really comfortable in her skin, in who she is, which is interesting when you pair her with Jace and how uncomfortable he is in his skin. And I just feel like she's got the right mindset. Like, she didn't accept what Corlys was offering, because she's like, I'm good. And she understands that there is a war to be won, and she's happy to participate, but also she has a conscience too. And that just kind of brings her back down to earth. Like, she's asking, like, are we going after innocence here? Like, at least she asked the question. And I like that Baela was thoughtful like that. So Baela is my vote for Team Black. For Team Green, I don't want to say Aemond because it's already been said. I'm going to go with Larys Strong, just because I find what he's doing so interesting. And I feel like it could have been like a character that maybe I wouldn't like, but I'm on the edge of my seat to see what sneakiness he does next. And I feel like he is playing the game just in a different way. It's maybe not necessarily going to work out very well in the end. I don't know if he's like on the right path here. I don't know how many people he clued in on his plan to remove Aegon, like what the plan is, if anyone else is in on it. But I just like watching Larys and watching him like almost play a cat and mouse with Aegon. Like, it's just so fascinating to see that dynamic. So yeah, he would be my vote for Team Green. Like, I was surprised to find myself so endeared to watching what he was doing and getting up to, because he's always scheming.
Adding that to Larys, like, I know it's probably due to the actor, but there's such sincerity in how Larys is acting, which is obviously, when you think about Baelish and all the like chess piece movers, you think, oh, they're not very sincere. But Larys, when he's talking to Aegon and obviously he mentions like being
Disabled,
different.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can feel the sincerity, and it's almost like I believe him. I think he does want the best for Aegon. You get that feeling.
Yeah, it's
You
like
get-
two
you
things
get what-
are true at once. Like he does have genuine empathy, and he knows that pain more than most people do, being looked at a certain way. But at the same time, he's sort of counteracting that with his own schemes, and it's sort of like Larys is kind of having to work out what he does next because he has different motivations that are happening at the same time. And it kind of goes in with like the last question of like being surprised by a character. I wasn't expecting to be as surprised as I was by Larys showing that empathy, because it did seem real when he was talking to Aegon. It's just he also has an agenda at the same time. But that's what makes it so interesting, because you don't know what side is going to win the day. Like, will he do this with Aegon like for Aegon's benefit, so it's better for him, or is it just part of a larger Larys strategy? That's interesting for me.
Yeah,
he has me really believing that maybe he does care about Aegon somewhat. Like, I know you've been saying that, like, but I'm truly like
Kool-Aid. I'm like, oh, he means it. He means so well. And then I've got to remember who it is, and I'm like, oh, hang on, let's not
Wait
get
a
carried
minute.
away. But I buy it when he says stuff. I'm like, oh, he has a heart. And then I'm
well,
like,
and that's also a testament to how great the actors are. You know,
Oh yeah, 100%.
like the incredible job they're doing.
I think we could all probably agree that if we have any issues with the show, it's not ever the cast or the actors or whatever. Like they are working off what they are given. So if we ever have critiques, it tends to be about the way that a scene is written or something like that. It's never the actors. Like they kind of like they cop a lot of like the blame. Like it seems like people who are not fans take it out on the actors when really they're just working with what they're given and they have to follow the script. Like they always knock it out of the park. And so it's always horrible when I see like people on social media going after these actors and saying, oh, you know, you weren't very good at this, or this didn't make any sense. It's like they're just doing their job. It's like maybe more of a writer issue than the actors, because there's nobody who is like the weakest link. Everyone is just spot on.
Even the child actors.
Even the child actor and the HBO. I mean, I'm sorry, the comment previous, like HBO has never like really fumbled on their casting. Like they've done an incredible job of picking out really great actors, a lot of unknowns, a lot of theater actors. Like I think they know how to cast pretty well. So if the issue is with the character, look at the script, look at the dialogue it was given, look at the way they were directed. It all comes down to that, never the person. So like Fabian Frankel, like having to shut down his account. Like that's insane. That is chronically online insane behavior. Get a job, leave her alone. Like what the fuck are you doing? What are we doing? None of this is real. It's a show with dragons. Like, people are so weird about stuff.
He's probably like, what did I sign up for? Because like this is, he's an actor, a working actor, and like until this point, I don't think he's ever experienced this kind of vitriol. And it's like, what have I signed up for?
Exactly.
It's wild. And it's also something that I think, like, I've had a lot of people ask me about like rumors about Emma Darcy and how they might feel about like their treatment on the show, given that, there is a spotlight on them. And I feel like there are certain things that have happened that if I was Emma Darcy, I might be like, I don't know if I want to continue on the show. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of like negativity, a lot of transphobia, a lot of ignorance. And if I was Emma, I would be like, I know I've signed up for this, but this is a lot. This is not what we thought we were going to sign up for. And it's like, it's the actors who are they're receiving like the brunt of all the aggression from people who are not happy with the creative decisions of the show. Right. And it's like, I have a lot of empathy because it's like, we are all really used to this fandom being quite intense, but these actors, they might be like, what the hell have we stepped into? Like, what did we sign up for?
Well, but I mean, the second Bethany Antonia was sharing like the racist vitriol she was getting through her private messages, through replies in her comment section, like not only that, previously was Corlys Velaryon, like Steve Chazan when he was cast. I remember. I remember that comment section that when I put a picture of his casting, I'm like, I fighting through trenches with the ghouls and racists of the fandom. And he got kind of like cascades into Emma Darcy being non-binary actor. Fabian Frankel playing a villain now with Admiral Lohar, a lot of transphobia. You don't like the character, but you don't want to say what it is. Like, it's just this fandom has no limits as far as how horrible it is whether it be
Yeah.
racism, misogyny, homophobia, transphobia, you name all of the isms, all of the phobias. And it's actually really, really disheartening to see all that. So, and we got to fight it. We got to snuff that out of the conversation every time you see it. Snuff it out. Do not give it platform.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I've also
definitely.
found like, sorry.
Oh.
Just quickly, I found that when I've addressed it, like when I've corrected people, actually like 99% of people have been like, oh, my bad, I didn't know. And it just like most people are in good faith. Maybe they make like a mistake. Maybe they are not realizing.
For Emma, yeah.
Yeah, like specifically with Emma, like I've had to like correct a lot of people with the pronouns thing. And it's just like,
yeah,
I worry like you don't know when you're correcting someone, whether they're going to take it wrong, like they're going to be offended that you're correcting them. But I found that most people actually are like, oh, I didn't realize, my bad. And that is what you want to see, but it's not universal. And there are still a lot of assholes who just don't even want to be corrected and don't care that this is an issue. Like that they really just don't care. It's like their way or the highway, regardless of how hurtful it is to various different communities when people are doubling down, because you do see that. But it does give me hope that some people are like, oh, didn't know, will correct myself going forward. Things like that do give me a little bit of hope sometimes.
Stella, you were going to say something.
I was going to say, it's so jarring to me and strange whenever I see either, misogyny, homophobia, or transphobia in this fandom, because it's like, if you pick up these books, you will see that, like, George writes incredibly nuanced female perspectives. If you pick up The World of Ice and Fire, you'll see that, like, he's created incredibly diverse cultures and worlds where, sometimes there are societies where there is, like, cross-dressing or there are gay characters. I think even about, like, the Jogos Nahai and how specifically you can choose to inhabit the male or female role, and then, but you can choose which one you want to be. And so they have, like, all these warrior women who are raised up kind of as men. And it's like, so where is this coming from? Because clearly these people haven't read these books.
They have not read the books. Exactly that.
Yep.
If you crack them open,
They've seen
you'll
a
see,
hot
like,
take and they've ran with it.
Yeah, like I had someone the other day tell me, they're like, well, women aren't supposed to be warriors in A Song of Ice and Fire because every time, Danny Flint and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, can I show you Brienne of Tarth? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Brienne of Tarth's chapters are literally the answer to that. Like, what are you even talking about?
Nymeria, the warrior queen, Visenya, like.
But not even that, like, even if the society that Martin is writing is telling women you're nothing but breeding stock and chattel, and they're the ones raising above that station, what is the author telling you? Stop being a piece of shit. I'm putting these women in positions for them to rise above their gendered station, to become knights, to become warriors, to become queens. Like, you're taking the side of the oppressor. Shocking. I mean, no surprise there, but like literally open schools, media literacy at all time, like non-existent. I swear to God. And these people are not reading. They're not. Like, they do.
It's like, are you wanting us to drag you? Because it feels like you like it. Because surely no one is this dense. But then people are, and it's just like, okay, really brave of you to put that on the internet, but all right.
Maybe they do have a king shame. You're right. I never considered that.
It feels like it. It feels like people are like, yes, drag me over the coals. Like, beat me with my own words. Like, what? Like,
I know.
Because it's so out of pocket, some of the things that I've seen. It's just like, wait, how on earth have you come to that conclusion? Like, we can all have different ideas and theories, but some stuff is just genuine insanity. And I'm like, I don't understand. Did you graduate school? Like, what? I don't get it.
I just reply with okay, like no period, no nothing, okay, and it's so annoying. It annoys the shit out of them.
Just okay or dot. Just leaving them, just indicating, but leaving them hanging. Like, I'm not touching that. Like, I haven't got the time today.
Do you know that? Do you know that meme? I wish I could share memes now. Like when there's like a group of people, like us, for example, talking, and then somebody says something fucking out of pocket, and then the group turns around.
Yeah.
And then they get back to talking. That's exactly how it feels like.
It is.
That's funny. So I was looking at some of the questions, and we sort of talked about these things already throughout. There's like the one that says, "Do you think the story of Hugh will change from the books?" And I feel like this is. Oh, JJ, you got a good answer for this. That is not spoily. But the question finishes up with, "As it is right now, I don't think it would make sense for what he does or whatever." So yeah, just to answer the question, I know you said something before we started, JJ. That's
So obviously character was changed. So what they're gonna do with them remains to be seen.
yeah.
That's all I can tell you. And I implore people not to get preemptively outraged. Wait for
Yeah.
the arc to play out because character was changed. He was on Dragonstone at King's Landing, but whatever. So that
Yep.
changed. Like same with Alison Hightower. Like episode 1, season 1, she's Rhaenyra's age. It changes everything. So like you have to always go with that in your mind, like that the story is different. It's completely
Context is
different.
everything. I feel like we all need that tattooed on our foreheads because we say it every day. I know we all do, and it's just like really.
Oh my god, especially this season, because even before the season started, I was already. It's so crazy how even as the season was just starting, my energy was pretty much drained, and I was so hyped
Yeah.
because we all talked about it before we the season started. But people were coming up with these, man, like theories and things that supposedly in their minds were already true by just watching clips or leaked pictures, like the
Yes,
whole
oh my god.
Damon shot where he from the discussion between him and Rhaenyra, and where he like hits the cup and whatever. People were already making that scene to be like he's gonna beat on Rhaenyra and like, you know, drag her all around the place and whatever. And like, yeah, it's hard to watch their both of them argue because we love both of them, but at the same time, like, man, stop. If you don't have context, don't be stirring things up for you and for everyone else.
Was a lot. Like anytime there was a clip from a trailer or a picture, people would, without context, would make assumptions and they'd be like, "Oh, this show's terrible and it's ruined and they're doing this," and it was like
week after week after week. I swear to God, they don't even. It's not even a leak. Let's. If I start talking about the fucking leaks, like I have been so mad about literal clips being posted online without any context, and people are like recording pictures, leaking script. Like the spoiler culture has been out of control. But even in the trailer, just a brief shot of the trailer, they made up their entire mind about the scene. And there's these essays and tweets that are like 15 thread long, and I'm like, maybe watch the episode first. And like when you. Like all these small things within the fandom have piled on me so much that I felt disillusioned for like, am I gaslighting myself? Am I being gaslit? I don't know, because I would watch the episode and I just want to say I was very lucky. I work with Temple of Geek, and they were giving me early access to watch some of these episodes. So I watched them in peace. And I'm like, and I watch it again to pick up on the details I did. And I take the notes, make sure I have everything, all my ducks in a row. And I'm like, I love the episode. I go on Twitter and I'm being gaslit that it's like the worst thing ever, worse than season 8 of Game of Thrones, and that was like the most shocking thing I've ever read in my life. And now like the percentage dropped even lower than the Belle's episode, whatever the fuck it's called, the last episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys do not remember 2019. You weren't there. You weren't there from like, what are we doing? Jamie Lannister's arc alone should earn you a slap on the face for making that claim. Like people are being so weird, not only preemptively outraged, but they cannot. Oh my God, my cats are losing it. Stop it.
Yeah, but no, it made me feel like
too.
Yeah, I want to say if they saw Game of Thrones today for the first time, I don't know if it'll be successful.
Yeah.
The what now?
If they saw Game of Thrones like today, like if season 1 came out for that today, like based on how everybody was reacting just from seeing small clips or something, I'm not sure if anybody would like it. That they would have the same hate. Like would they enjoy it?
People would be demanding Jamie Lannister's head, and he would be like done for as a character.
100%.
Yep. The actor would have to debate
and be like, and if anyone gives him the benefit of the doubt, you're sanctioning pushing children out of windows. Like, just take a beat and wait.
My God.
It's honestly it's really frustrating.
They were calling me.
I admire Let's see. Absolutely. Honestly, I gotta say, a lot of like, man, like, how do you say, big time praise for Kellie, Game of Thrones historian, WesterosO, and JJ. You sort of were also doing weekly recaps and whatnot. Marc, I know you were doing. Estella, we sort of talked about it one day on text message or whatever, and like in my case, I just felt like my whole energy was taken from me. So I admire you guys, like WesterosO, Marc, and Kellie. Like you guys powered through it and just made a lot of awesome content.
It was like being
that
Bear Grylls, just crawling through the mud, and I was like, I will do that.
No, and I admire all of you. I swear to God,
it
that
was
you were
mainly
able
out of
to wait for
spite.
that.
Honestly, I was like, I am not letting these fuckers ruin this for me. I will continue to speak, and you know what? I'm gonna do it more and harder. I went full Michael Scott. I was like,
hell yeah.
This is draining the life out of me, but I'm clinging on with my last bit of energy. I will talk about another scene. There will be one more video today. I will talk on you people.
I'm going to enjoy it no matter what.
I'm a little burnt out now, but like,
let me ask,
calming down a little bit.
Let me ask you a question that I keep getting accused of on Twitter. How much did HBO pay you?
Oh my God! Honestly, this is like it is so wild.
I'm dead serious. I had to delete my account for liking one thing out of House of the Dragon. I'm like, look at that, swimming in fucking PR and HBO checks. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
And you know what it is like? It shows that like people don't understand how it all works, because I know you said yourself, you have to legally disclaim these things. Like networks will not work with you if you don't do that. So if we haven't disclaimed it, it's because they're not paying us.
Correct.
It's really crystal clear. And even if they do, it doesn't mean that you're going to like stop saying what you really think. Do you know what I mean? It's not like we're being swayed. And just like it really bugs me, because I'm like,
I hate it.
If I was working for like HBO, for Max, for the show, I wouldn't really mind what people were saying as long as they were talking about the show. Any PR is good PR. Like they don't care what we think, you know, like they don't have a dog in this fight. So as long as people are talking about the show, that is all they care about.
Negative or positive.
Yeah, exactly. Like it doesn't make any difference whether you're like, oh, I like this person or like that person. It's all just hype for the show. And the irony is, the people who are getting their knickers in a twist, it's like you're going off on these wild rants and these are going viral, and you're promoting the show without even realizing it.
For free, you dummy.
For free. At least get your coins. I mean,
they'll hate watching the episode 5 times. Like, yes, you watched the show 5 times.
Yes. They got the number on the ratings thanks to you. Like, why did you hate watching it? Like, you decided Fire and Blood is the Bible, and it's not getting adopted properly, and you're still watching it.
Like, how do we know these people who are like so hating on the show? Is it not like, it reminds me of something from like 10 years ago or longer, when Gossip Girl was on TV and it got really negative like review, you know, in the promos and stuff before the show came out. People were like, do not let your children watch this show, and they put those quotes on the PR posters to promote the show, but on the back of the negativity. So it's like, you can be negative about a show, you can hate on it. They could literally go, you know what, we're going to use all of these tweets to promote our show because you say it's so terrible. People will then want to tune in. So it's so funny to me when I see people going in, and I'm like, well done on doing their PR for them. For free.
Young people don't remember the Gossip Girl era. That was wild time.
I remember.
The internet was on fire. This is the thing. People, if we survived Gossip Girl, because that was a rocky ride, this is nothing. Fire, whatever. Like, give me something difficult.
Hey, I'm in Star Wars fandom too, so it's like I am like and Marvel.
You're getting it from all angles.
Now in anime, like holy shit, like I am inundated with just like horrible people. But you know what? Like I'm getting to a point, like all of you here, like to spite at this point. Like I was taking all this shit personally. I don't like my integrity questioned. I don't.
Yeah.
Like you're accusing me of taking payments, taking checks, like. You're questioning my character, my honest, and I've always been extremely honest. If I love a thing, I fucking love it. If I hate it, you'll know.
They're saying you're only saying this because of X, Y, and Z. And it's like, so you're saying that I would lie to people for a check. Correct. So why would you follow me if you think I'm that kind of person? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's from followers too. Like I hate it. Like bully me like a normal person. Just call me ugly and a bitch and a cunt. Yeah. I'll take it. Nothing phases me.
I'm sure people have
don't question my character.
I've been really lucky. I've not seen anyone say anything bad about me to my face. I'm sure that they are talking shit about me, but I'm like,
oh, they subtweet. They'll never tell you in your face. Yeah. You get subtweeted.
Like, I feel really bad because I'm sure there's a lot of people who like will quote tweet something and it'll be really nice, and it's like I low-key don't click on them because I don't want to see the negative stuff. So
never check the quote tweets. Never check the quote tweets.
I never do. And I'm like, I feel bad because I'm sure there's like some really nice comments, and I'm just like,
I know.
I'm not going to pull at that thread. Hell no. I'm preserving my sanity. I like my little bubble. I do not penetrate my little bubble, because I've done that thing where you look and you see all the nasty stuff and I'm like, oh, hell no. Literally, I'm like, what the hell have I stumbled into? Like, there was a huge drama like a while ago where someone, I know you spoke on it, JJ, where that person took my video out of context, screen recorded it, put it on Twitter. It was a whole thing. And everyone was like, whatever you do, don't look at the quote tweets because you will be very upset. And I'm like, okay, I'm not looking. Like, I'm not a glutton for punishment. I will live in bliss. They were all saying lovely things in my head. That's what it really was. But it's like, I have to compartmentalize it because people can be very, very personal and visceral. And you've been on the receiving end very, very recently. Yeah. And so I'm just like, I'm just dodging it all. I'm just like, I don't want to see it, but I'm sure it's applicable. I'm sure people say shit about all of us.
They do. Oh yeah, like, for sure.
Well, what gets me when they argue as if they're like a Westerosi peasant or something. Like, I got accused of being a Targaryen supremacist because I didn't want them to hit. Yeah, they were like, oh, well, you're a Targ-cessed shipper, blah, blah, because I literally had made a video where I was like, I don't want them to pit Rhaenys and Visenya against each other in this catty girl fight. So that makes me a Targaryen supremacist.
Oh my God.
What are these words? Like, none of this is in the Bible. What the fuck are they talking about?
We're adults and this is a fictional world. Like, what are we doing here?
I'll say one thing while we're talking about fandoms, just having you guys and like other creators in the space like has made all of this worth it. Honestly, just like seeing your videos, like the tweets and all of that, your takes and all of that, even when we don't agree, we are respectful about it, and we can have good discussions about it. It makes it all worth it, because what I would hate to see, I don't know if you guys are mutuals with Lady Lannister, she quit making a Song of Ice and Fire content because she was harassed relentlessly, like for liking Alicent and for being a Lannister simp, essentially, which Lannisters are fucking amazing. They're George R. R. Martin's favorite characters. Like, what are we doing? Tyrion is his favorite character. Like, and she like quit making content on a Song of Ice and Fire because of the fandom. They did the same thing to her, to you, Kellie. Like, they took her videos and put it out on Reddit, put it out on Twitter, exposed her to fandoms that she's not in. And like, she quit making content, and like, I would hate for that. For anybody.
It was just an opportunity to drag somebody, and I feel like, and I'm not saying it's just happening to women, but it felt very pointed that it was a female creator that was kind of hounded out of the fandom. I didn't like it. I understood entirely, like, preserve your peace, do what you need to do, but the fact that she was in that situation,
it was
absolutely
rough.
not.
It was bad.
Absolutely fucked
up. I've seen her private videos, like friends only videos. She was suffering through that. Like, it was bad. Like, and I felt so like I would, if I see that happen to anybody else in our space, I'm gonna fucking lose it. I swear to God. Like, I've tried to be nice,
defensive of each other and protective, because we all because we've all on the receiving end of things from here and there, like at different times. We've all had people think bad of us and think the worst, and then actually like say awful things. We know how it feels, and also, when you do make content, like, it's different when you're making content than just consuming it. And I feel like we all can relate. And so, like, I feel like there's like a nice, like, little, I've cultivated a nice community of people that I know, like, if I'm like, okay, this is going on, I know that you guys would have my back and be like, what is happening? Have people lost their minds? And so it is comforting to have this community.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
And I probably think I'm probably not gonna word this correctly, but it's the way I think. Like our opinion. I don't mean this in a mean way, but our opinions don't really matter. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you
Yep.
mean.
Yep.
You're right.
The book's not going to change. I promise it's not.
When people, like, I've seen people upset about things I've said before, and I'm like, who am I? Like, why? Like, who am
Why
I?
do you care?
Yeah.
When
Like,
people
we're
say,
offering an opinion, and
Yeah.
you know, you don't have to take our advice, but we're just offering it. You haven't got to bite our heads off, and
exactly,
we all say you haven't got to agree. It's just
Yeah.
a thought.
and
By
like,
the way, Mark, you get a lot of shit from like some circles for being a Jon Snow stan, for liking Jon Snow, which is fucking crazy.
Oh, I know.
Very dare
I
you.
know.
And you, WesterosiO, for liking Robert Baratheon. Like, I've seen some stupid
Yep.
shit in the comments. I'm like, what the fuck are you people talking about? They are fictional characters. They
Yep.
are allowed to like fictional characters. Like, this fandom is unhinged. We have to protect each other. We have to. We cannot.
Yeah.
We cannot have Lady Lannister repeat, because that was
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah,
Terrible.
This is supposed to be.
no, you
Oh my
Is
bad.
it
I'm
what?
about to say it's supposed to be fun. Like when we talk about these characters, of course, I don't want anybody making a video saying anything truly hateful about, especially a real person.
Yes.
When we're talking about who we like, who we dislike for these fictional characters, like we have to remember the fictional part. I feel like people forget that
Yeah.
sometimes.
The other day, I don't know if you guys saw it, but the other day I made a video saying that I liked the finale, and somebody called me a fat BEANER.
Excuse me?
And oh yeah, and I'm just saying it because I want to say thank you to everyone that stopped by the comment section and sent me messages and stuff. And I was like, listen, I'm just happy to have you all here, you know, because people like that, I even muted that person. I didn't even block the person because it was on one of my lives that I was doing throughout the week for House of the Dragon, and I muted the person because they were dropping like spoilers. And I was like, I should block this person, but nah, whatever. I'll just mute them because they're not being mean. And of course, as soon as I mute them, they go to one of my videos and commented that. Obviously, I reported that because I remembered one of your videos, JJ, that somebody posted something super like being stupid with you, and you said something back, and TikTok reported you. And I was like, hell no,
Got
I ain't doing
flagged.
that shit.
Got
Yeah,
an account
I-
warning.
exactly.
kidding.
So I was like, I'm straight up just reporting you. Believe me, I would make a video for you. But no, I just reported the person and whatever. But
That's
it's just
that's
wild.
so
It's
fucked up. I'm so sorry, Ruben. That
No,
is awful.
Mhm.
I mean,
Holy shit.
it's so funny. It's
Yeah.
funny to me because friends of mine and PR, like they always say like, oh man, you look like you can get past by living, because some of you might know, but yeah, I live close to the countryside of North Carolina, and it can be, yeah, it's not the best place a lot of times for Latinx people and whatnot. And it's funny how friends of mine will be like, oh no, you look like like you can blend in pretty much. And I'm like, oh, believe me, I might have my red beard and all that, but they know.
They always
know I'm not from there. They know I'm not from there. As soon as I speak, even though I might speak a little bit better English than you, to like my friends over there, and but believe me, they know I'm not from there. But yeah, it's one of those things, you know.
I'm so sorry.
just,
That's awful. I'm really sorry.
It's all good. No, and again, I'm so happy to have you all. Like, I feel like the community of us, the creators, now speaking just, on the creator side, I feel like we are all getting to getting more in contact with each other, and that makes me really, really happy. Like, in my mind, I thought that that you and like Marc or as in all of you had at least spoken once. Maybe JJ and Kellie had talked like on messages and whatever.
We did.
But
Yeah, just never like side by side,
face to face. Yeah.
All right.
We have messages.
So having all of you now here, and when we all saw each other in the lobby, and you were all like super excited, it's like, oh my god, this is the first time we're all here. Like, it just made me happy, and I hope that this keeps on growing, because I'll tell you right now, and JJ, I mentioned it to you the last time we were on the podcast. I'm jealous for like all of the people that went to Star Wars Celebration in a good way, of course. And I would love for something like that to happen with us, the creators of A Song of Ice and Fire and Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, the Game of Thrones universe. And I've even been thinking, man, I've been daydreaming
WorldCon
this
in
week.
Glasgow.
That would be incredible. That would be incredible. I've even been thinking, like, daydreaming all throughout this week. Like, man, if we all just keep in touch with it, in contact with each other and whatnot, who knows if we could even like one day plan out a trip to go to the Game of Thrones exhibition, which I know WesterosiO.
I was like,
WesterosiO went.
Stay out. That would be like awesome. I've never been, and it's not that far from where I'm at right now. But I was like, could you imagine if we all or if they invited us all? See, this is the thing.
My God.
If they invited us, we would happily accept.
Oh yeah, that would be.
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine?
You have to be an idiot to say no to that. Like,
exactly.
come on.
I would bite their hand off. I'm like, yes, when I will be available. We'll all just clear our schedules. That would be like the most fun thing ever. Just walking around and being like, we would be in our element. We would all just be like.
Yeah, it would be incredible. So now I'm sort of
manifest.
like manifesting. Yes, I was gonna say I'm right now manifesting it, and then we'll come back to this episode and just
like, remember
like,
when we thought about it and then it happened? We're gonna put it in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ruben is a dreamer. That's canon event now. Marc.
I love it.
Oh my god, that's freaking good. I think we covered pretty much everything with the questions. I do have a question. There's one, but it's more like A Song of Ice and Fire, and I know it might get too long. But it's a really, really good question that maybe you guys, and I know you guys have talked about it, but maybe you can write it and make a video on it later on if you're interested. And it's from Luis, which is an awesome guy that always joins my lives. Shout out, Luis. He says, what's everyone's all-time favorite POV character? The other yes, it's like, yeah.
It's like
and then
choice. It's like,
how
do I
yep. Also, which is pretty, I'm sure we can give like 5. I'm just now starting A Dance with Dragons, and I can probably give you like 5 or 6 different chapters that I absolutely loved. And then they asked last question: any character in all of A Song of Ice and Fire history y'all wish would get a POV of? Actually, I think we can answer
That's a
that
good
here.
one. That's a
I
good
think
one.
that might. But yeah. I don't know. Oh, before we go, because we're having such a damn good time. I know Estella has something very soon. So Estella, if you feel like, we're almost done with this.
Sure.
Excuse me.
I'm doing okay on time. I feel like any POV, if we could get any POV, I would say maybe Howland Reed. I feel like that could be very interesting.
Ooh.
Or maybe
say
like
hi to the people.
Oh, that's awesome.
This is
It's
Nymeria.
so pretty.
Nymeria.
Oh my god.
That's you, isn't it? Say hi
I
to
would
the
die for Nymeria, figuratively, literally.
people.
Oh man.
She loves it. There you go.
That's
Miriam
awesome.
heard Howland Reed and want to jump up there and like, now who you say?
And now there's fur everywhere.
Yeah.
Thank you. And she's just
that's a
gone.
really good.
Bye.
That's a really good. Oh, something happened to WesterosO. He should be back. But yeah, Howland Reed. That's a really good pick, actually. That is a really good pick. And then to finish off and just pretty much go into the end of the episode, let's see, where's that question? Shit. Oh, what are y'all's content plans over the next 2 years before season 3 comes out?
I know you said before. I think probably everybody's, for the most part, is excited about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms coming out sometime next year.
Yeah,
That's my jam.
Yes, we're all ready to see our favorite hedge knight.
Absolutely.
And I feel that we might be, maybe I'm, tempting fate, but I feel like certain people have reacted to the snippets that we've got of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and people have already decided they don't like it. And I'm thinking,
oh my god.
okay, good. Don't stay.
Watch it. Yeah,
we
don't
might
watch
have
it.
we might be free.
We're gonna have a good time.
Like, yeah,
Yes.
I'm like, good. I love that you don't like it. Perfect. We'll see you next time for
I've
House
seen
of Dragon,
people
maybe.
complaining about the casting already.
Oh yeah.
Say what?
I've seen
can't
people
win.
complain about the casting already.
Yeah.
Oh
same.
my god.
From the 2 lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, from 7
Nothing.
clips.
Yeah.
People are already like writing the whole thing off. It's wild. But it's like, okay, if you've already signed out, you're like, no, I'm checked out. I'm not interested. Great. It leaves everyone else to enjoy it. Maybe. That's what I'm hoping.
My plan is to block. Yeah, my plan is to block as many fucking people as possible. And I want to make one thing clear. Do not take snapshots of my account where it says JJ blocked you. That's not a badge of honor. There's thousands of you. You mean nothing to me. And that's number one.
Just
number
one more
two.
deck chair on the Titanic.
Correct. I have blocked people for not liking a song from my favorite band. So your bad take means fuck shit to me.
Literally,
It's not a badge of honor.
Blockaris is the word.
Blockaris, all of you.
And
You
you know
breathe
what?
wrong. You have a wrong profile photo. I don't like. Block.
Yeah.
Like that's how.
Yeah, the
how
bar
I
is
am.
so low. Like
Why?
people think, like I've seen people say, like after the fact, after I've blocked somebody, it's got back to me like, oh, I really must have hit a nerve with her. And I'm like,
Who are you?
Honestly, it couldn't be anything further from that. It's literally like, I don't like your vibe. That's it.
Literally.
That's it.
But
It's
like,
not
who
even
are
that deep.
you? Who are you?
I think I stitched one of JJ's videos and somebody said, oh, I can't see her video. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, well, you're blocked, sir. That's the reason.
Oh, that's awkward.
I just said, oh, okay.
You know, like obviously offensive shit immediately, but even bad, Kelly said, bad vibe, you're out.
Mm-hmm.
I block people like literally for not liking a song from my favorite band, talking shit on an actor, like profile photo with it. AI art blocked immediately. Like I am so liberal with that shit. It's not a badge of honor. There's literally tens of thousands of you, and I will flush all of you out. I will make my space as fun and as safe as possible because I love A Song of Ice and Fire. I never want to feel tired of it. I never want to feel like I'm drained of energy to make videos like I have been feeling. I never want to be in this position ever fucking again because I am a very emotional person, obviously. So I take a lot of things to heart. So we're done with that. We are done with that. Night of the Seven Kingdoms comes around. You breathe wrong, you're out. Out.
I don't breathe wrong.
I'm holding my breath right now. I'm like,
you know what I mean? Like I always joke about being Palpatine because I'm the Senate here. How I say goes, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like,
in our individual houses, it's our rules, and it's not even that personal or that deep. Sometimes it is where you're like, oh, you're really weird. I'm gonna block you. But then people just take it as if like it's a win, and I'm like,
who are you?
It's an L, but you do you, boo.
Yeah, it's giving obsessed.
Don't you dare, Darth Martell.
I feel like there are people who want all of us to block them. They want to like, it's like a bingo card. Like, right, okay, she's already blocked me. I'm gonna annoy him now.
I saw a tweet like that. I'm not even joking. I saw a tweet and it was a bunch of TikTok. So I will send you the tweet. Like, and it was. I mean, you don't need to see it, but they were like, they're like, yeah, I've been blocked by all these Song of Ice and Fire TikTok creators, blah blah blah. And I'm like, as if it's like this badge of honor that everyone.
Oh my god!
My god!
Are you
Someone once said that. I think it was me and you, JJ, were like part of a nightmare blunt rotation, and I was like, I was like, just show that you don't know anything about us, please. But it was hysterical. I was like, now that I wear as a badge of honor.
That right there,
like
exactly.
Getting obsessed because it's like y'all don't think about these people at all, but clearly they're thinking about you. So you live in their minds rent free.
Rent free.
Exactly. Exactly.
And honestly, like I've been in so many different fandoms. I've made friends. Like I've met people. Like we actually became friends. Like if I have an issue with the take you made that I find a little bit problematic, you said something that could be icky, is it misogynistic? I don't know. Is it this? Is it this? I will DM you and we can sort it out. I'm never gonna take that shit publicly and like call you out. I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
Like if you're a
Oh,
mutual of mine, if you're a friend of mine, we're taking it to DM, we're straightening it out. And if we still don't see eye to eye, I'm like, I'm gonna have to unmutual you. I have done that. And that's the way to do it. Like if we don't see eye to eye, if we don't like each other's content, that's it. But people like fucking take it to the next level, make everybody look miserable. And like Estella said, like we don't think of you. You said something that was kind of bad vibe and I flushed you out. I don't know who the fuck you are, but you're here thinking about me. So I won.
People
send me a check, HBO.
Yeah. A lot of it is like people question our intent, and it's like none of us are doing any of this in bad faith. And when people like double down, it's like, okay, there is no getting through. If you're gonna feel how you want to feel, that's fine. But it's like normally in these situations, you want to give people the benefit of the doubt. But when people come in hot and they've made their mind up, it's just like, I'm not gonna try and change your mind. Like you do you, boo, and let's keep it moving. You know,
that's it.
So once you're blocked, we're on a list. Hey, nobody looks at it the second time. Like I don't go on my block list and say, who am I going to unblock? Like,
yeah,
there's literally thousands of you.
I can't find you.
That's so true.
Have you guys seen the Breaking Bad meme when it's Walter White and he goes, all of this, everything is about me? And I feel like that's how people think. But, who are
I love it.
Who are you? Like,
Yep.
I'm surprised you have
great.
time to drink to cope with this fandom. Honestly,
I know.
This needs to be an Irish coffee. I'm just saying. Some days I'm like,
I just
stat. Yeah, just
under
a little,
the table. Nobody needs to know. Nobody needs to know.
Exactly. In the coffee cup. Who knows?
This was great.
Yeah,
I know we were supposed to talk about the finale, but I just needed to get some shit off my chest because I've been feeling pent up and angry, and I'm like, I feel like weight has been lifted off my back. I swear to God.
Yeah.
So I appreciate this.
It's been a very cathartic conversation, and I feel like
my soul.
I feel so much better, and I feel closer to all of you.
Same.
Across the satellite in the sky.
I love it.
A song about your fire can bring people together in a good way.
Yes.
In a good way.
You know what?
Yes. Listen, we're all a few things. We've already put it out there in the universe that hopefully we'll all get together one day whenever they start doing big cons or celebration style for Game of Thrones universe, A Song of Ice and Fire, and especially to go to the Game of Thrones exhibition, which that would be incredible if all of us got to go together. That would be great. And JJ, I wanted to say, because I know you had closed off your Twitter, and I meant to tell you before we started, but it's better if I just tell you now. Thank you for what you did, because closing down your Twitter and bringing it back to share this with everyone, man, it really hit me, honestly.
This was important for me. That's why.
I know how bad, and we've talked about it already now here quite a bit, but yeah, the way people were treating you, it's not fair, it's not good, it's childish, it's weird, and
toddlers.
For you to bring weird. To me, when I saw exactly. But for you to reactivate your account, when I saw that, and that you told me before you did it, I was like, my God, like, first of all, I was like, you don't have to do it, honestly. But it makes me happy, obviously, because to have you in the fandom, to have you there, in my opinion, be one of the spears, of this, of the content creators for A Song of Ice and Fire. And
like
Game of Thrones universe.
Community. So I'm like,
honestly,
bastards, get you down. No, like fuck all of them.
Yeah, we already.
I was so pleased. I was like, I still give it to them.
JJ, I still remember where I was and what I was doing when you followed me, and I was like, oh my God.
I think I don't know. You made a couple of videos. Usually, I kind of like watch a couple of people's videos to gauge how they think.
Yeah.
That's important. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know you. I want to know how you think. So that's how we become friends.
Pass
And you were like,
parallel test.
correct. Yeah. Like you posted. I can't remember which video it was. I'll have to look it up. It's been a while now. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. This is a really, really good take. That's a very intelligent take, friends. Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to say that before like we start heading out. And I've told you already, but thank you to all of you that joined. I'm honestly honored to be able to call you my friends and my siblings in Rollor. Like
and old
we
gods.
talked and old gods, yes.
Thank you.
But we want
no,
to say
be-
thank you to you as well, because
Oh.
you first of all, you're a brilliant creator and you do awesome content, but also you're a really nice guy and you took all the time to get this together. Like I don't know how like you got everyone on the same timeline. Like you pulled it together, and I'm so thankful for you. And I know I speak on behalf of everybody when I say that. So
100%.
give yourself a pat on
Always.
the back as you've done this awesome thing by bringing us together. And I've had a great time. I've really, really enjoyed this. I
The
really
best.
hope we can do it again sometime soon. Like,
Yes,
if you guys let me
yes.
know when, I'll make sure I'll keep that time in my diary free, because like this was a really fun chat.
I will
is
for
amazing.
sure. I will. I want to give you all time to sort of also tell people where to find you and whatnot. But before I get to that, of course, no. Thank you. Like we're not gonna agree. I'm gonna thank you, and you're gonna thank me, even though I just want to
We're gonna
thank
go back
you.
and forth.
I don't care.
We're gonna thank you.
I just
each
want to
other.
thank you. I want
It's
to
a
thank
good
you
kind
all.
of circle jerk. It is. It's a good
Yes,
circle
yes,
jerk.
yes. But I wanted to, before, I know that Kellie has Thrones Thursdays with her besties,
What
Kayla
time is that,
and
Kellie?
Elle.
So we normally do 10 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. Eastern, but we are going to change it to different times so that people can catch us. Like sometimes it might be earlier, it might be later. And we're going to try and like, I think the plan is to put everything on Spotify or YouTube or something, so that if you are not available to tune in, you can still catch the stuff later. But yeah, we kind of work on like 3 different time zones, like UK, Eastern and Central. So sometimes like it depends on what's happening that day. But
I can never catch. I'm always at work, and I'm trying to get home earlier. And
it's like, sometimes a bit too early for you guys, and especially if you're on the West Coast, it's even earlier. So we're still kind of figuring out different times, and I feel like we're going to try and have a consistent time, but then also change it occasionally so people can catch us when they might not always. Like maybe do it on a weekend perhaps, or like a Sunday kind of thing, just so that people who maybe are like, okay, I can't catch you in the week sort of thing. So
yeah, right.
But when we know, we'll let you know. We're still figuring things out.
Absolutely. And then I don't think, well, Marc and WesterosiO and Estella, and obviously I've opened up the possibility for you guys to always come here to the podcast. This is your podcast as well, and we'll like, I want for us to always figure out whenever you want to be here, you just freaking let me know. It's like I think I told JJ the last time we were on the pod, like if you have thoughts and you want to put them out there, you just let me know and we'll just get on the podcast and we'll do the episode and whatnot. But honestly,
I feel like JJ has a binder full of
Yeah.
notes. Not just a notebook,
Yes,
like
We're just seeing one
yes.
notebook.
yeah, like
Yep,
a whole like
You guys are gonna
like
you're gonna laugh so fucking
which
hard.
theory is it? And just sort of flicks through them.
The red is for Valor.
Oh man.
Oh.
See, she's a
That's
professional.
incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah,
but-
mental illness. That's what that is.
Well, if you've got it, we've all got it. We're, we're all down.
Yep. But I do know that JJ and Mesa Windu Josh, I think it's his name.
Yes, Josh.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah.
Very good friend of mine.
They have Space of Ice and Fire on X or Twitter.
That's gonna get reworked. So FYI. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys can find them there whenever the show is going. I know they always, man, right after the episode, they do an awesome panel there with a lot of incredible people always that join, and led by both of them. And then, like I said, WesterosO, and then Estella and Marc. I don't think you guys have like a podcast or anything like that, but remember, again, this is your house, and I would love for all of us to find a way to be part of each other's um, ideas and projects and whatever, because I think we all have a different um, like approach to our content. Like I know Kellie and Kayla and Elle, it seems like it's more concentrated on A Song of Ice and Fire and whatnot, and Game of Thrones, of course. And then JJ and Josh, it's definitely or House of the Dragon talk, but they can definitely do Star Wars. In my case, I'm all over the place, even though I've started with Game of Thrones universe. The plan is to do, Star Wars, and I've done I think I've done one Star Wars content, whatever. So yeah, we're all like all over the place. Yes, with Kari.
Kari, yeah, my girl.
Star Wars, amazing. But what I'm trying to say is that I feel like we can all be part of each other's stuff, and just know that you can count on me for anything, and that the doors for this space are always open for you guys.
Really nice.
Yeah.
It's very much appreciated.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. So Marc, where can people find you?
You can find me at House of Nettles, all those cool places. If you see that one picture way up there, you'll know it's my profile.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's the
one. Estella.
Yeah, you can find me as, I believe, Estella_Graves on most social medias, X, Instagram, TikTok. I think here on YouTube it's just Estella Graves, and I cross-post videos when I can. So yeah, check me out there.
Awesome. Kellie.
Yeah, mainly obviously TikTok, but I also have started doing YouTube. Everything is Game of Thrones historian, all one word. Apart from, I believe my Twitter X handle is GOT historian, because they didn't let me do the full word. But yeah, everything's in my link tree in my TikTok bio. And I'm going to be updating that with more stuff as well, because we are doing like Thrones Thursday with me and the other girls. So it's just going to be, I'm going to add that in as well so people can find it, and we're getting organized. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But I'll let you know when I know.
Which, by the way, I gotta say, Kellie started doing her YouTube journey with season 2, and was doing, of course, if you liked her TikToks already, believe me, the deep dives on the full hour, probably like 45 minutes to an hour videos are
awesome.
incredible.
Yeah, they're quite lengthy, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I struggle to reduce it all down because I want to say all this stuff, and it is really good, but my god, does it take a long time. Like my most recent video that I put up for the finale, I think from like when I sat down to record it and then going through all the editing and all of that, it was like a 12-hour long process, and I'm like, at the end, I lost the will to live. I was like, who am I? What year is it? Who's president? Why am I doing this? But I was like, it was like that determination of, I'm gonna get this shit done, even if it kills me, even if it means I stay up till like 6 a.m. I'm getting this up there. But I'm getting better. I'm getting better at like not like messing up something, like halfway through saying something, and I'll just go start again. I feel like I need to go like cut. I'm getting a bit better at like letting it just flow. So hopefully that'll mean less editing and less like keeping everything together, because that shit kills me and I hate it. But like by the time I get to the end, I'm like a proud mother, like I did it. I made a video. It worked. But yeah, it's a new medium and I'm just sort of winging it. But it is really fun. It's different to TikTok, and so it's like you can talk in a different way, and that's an interesting process in and of itself, because I feel like when we're on TikTok we have to keep it fairly concise as much as we can, and that's really hard with this subject matter because there's so many things we want to talk about. So I'm enjoying doing YouTube, and I'm hoping to kind of just get like my bearings a little bit more. Like I'm getting there, but I am enjoying it. It's very different, but yeah, that's what's happening with me.
Awesome. And then JJ?
You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter now again under Lady Dragon JJ. I'm mostly active on TikTok and Twitter. Sometimes on Instagram, I repost things. I don't have anything in plan. Just I want to get my energy and my will to make content again on TikTok. I have been burned out like really badly. So I want to get back into that. And I think once I get back into that, I can make bigger plans. Now, unfortunately, my full-time job is office job. I don't do remote. So I am there 10 to 12 hours a day. So when I can, I make videos.
Can I just say, people don't realize that we have actual like live, like
Thank-
we don't spend all day.
We have paying jobs.
And so it's like,
and it's not
welcome to
HBO.
adulthood.
And it's I wish it was. I could quit this
I know.
fucking
like
capitalistic
HBO,
nightmare
Canada.
bullshit.
Yeah, I would love to do this full time. Please,
Me
somebody
same.
kill me. Like,
Please, I'll be
back
reading
off.
books. Exactly. I'll be reading books, making content for you all day, morning to night. But I can't. I make it when I can, in my car, in my garage, in my living room, wherever I can. So I appreciate the patience. Like once I get over this burnout, there's gonna be more content, more book talk because I'm rereading the books.
You'll be back better than ever. Like
there you go.
Charged and raring to go.
Especially after this chat. This chat literally boosted my serotonin that I was deeply, deeply missing for a while. So I thank you for having me again. If anything comes up that's interesting and fun, like as far as like future projects, I will let you guys know. So far, I just want to not be burned out anymore.
Yes. WesterosO. Tell us, where can people find you?
Just.
Oh shoot! What happened?
You froze. Oh no!
Just on.
Wait, you're frozen. I'm sorry.
WesterosO, hello.
You're gonna Ruby. You're gonna have to plug them.
I'll have to. I'll do it. WesterosO, you're here.
I feel like he's probably waving at the camera and nothing's happening.
I think his signal, and he had mentioned something to me before we started. He had sent me a text saying that his signal was kind of wonky, so maybe it's that.
Alys is back.
Alys is back.
Oh, there we go. He's back. I thought I heard him a little bit.
No.
Oh no, he really left now. Well, I'll tell you guys.
That's his username, WesterosO.
Yes.
There you go.
Go follow WesterosO on TikTok. Man, he just like everyone here, he makes really, really awesome content. Man, I really hate, the only thing I've hated this episode is, of course, you guys haven't been able to see me. All you've had is that little face on that thing. Yes. Okay, WesterosO came back.
Oh,
let's see. Are you back?
Maybe.
Yay!
WesterosO.
You're weird with net
honestly,
is failing.
At this point, I have no idea anymore.
Oh my god.
That's so great.
Well, anyways. Oh wait. No.
He's trying. He's trying.
Oh,
Christmas call.
Freaking.
New nickname unlocked.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can
talk.
Let's see if you.
Can you hear me?
Perfect now.
Yes.
Oh my god, man! I'm in the bottoms. I'm in the bottoms of Ireland at the moment, so my internet is gone.
No.
Oh man. Nah, but just saying where for people to find you. I said it already, but you can say it definitely.
Just WesterosO, just on TikTok. I just talk about Game of Thrones, the whole shebang.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys go ahead and follow them. I'm sure if you're here in the chat, you're probably following them. And if not, here on YouTube, I know Marc has a I think all of us have a channel except WesterosO here on YouTube. So make sure that you follow them, you subscribe to their channel. Because yeah, we never know when, I don't know, what if TikTok is not around anymore or whatever else. You guys can come here and find them. thank you all so much. You can follow me, even though
Oh yeah.
you can follow me.
You're here.
You might not see me. You guys have not seen me all this time, but I promise you, I've been here all this time. Yeah, you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Of course, subscribe to the channel here for the podcast, because more awesome things are for sure going to happen. By the way, I had done that giveaway of the Rise of the Dragon book. I did it on Instagram. Almost like 120 people participated.
Damn.
And that was, man, it was so awesome. And now the next one in celebration for the finale or whatever, we're gonna do it here on YouTube. So keep an eye out for that. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, because that's one of the ways that you'll be able to participate of the giveaway. I have another copy of the Rise of the Dragon, which is an incredible, like the images in that are just stunning. Let's see if I'm missing something else. I don't think so. Yeah, just thank you all so freaking much for the 100th time, and I'll say it a million more times. Yes.
Sorry, can I just say one thing? It's a bit off topic, but if anybody can,
No.
I don't know how. The whole reason I started making Game of Thrones TikToks is because of Nikki, because of Lady Lannister. Like, her name is like
Same thing.
It's Nikki. I can't remember her at the moment.
Is it
Overseer Lannister? Yeah.
I'm actually, if she changed it, she put her name in, didn't she? It was Lannister.
She took out Lannister. You're right. Yeah. Right.
It's Nikki Nikki Kia, like Khaleesi. It's like a mixture of it. Anyway.
Khaleesi, yeah.
If anybody can just, oh no, because man, she literally is the only reason I made TikToks. And I was on Reddit, I was on all the other stuff trying to talk about this stuff, and nothing was happening. And then she made TikToks, and I was like, that's it. If anybody can communicate that to her.
Yeah, Nikki's amazing. Give her love when you see her videos, no matter what they are.
Definitely. You know what's funny? And it's funny, and it's also sad, because I've got a feeling maybe she did not respond back to me because of the whole, but I had a little plan, a little secret, because Nikki and me, before she completely stopped, because I don't think she's been making content here for like the last 3 months, like in general. Longer. And I reached out to her because Nikki was the first person back when I was thinking about doing the podcast, and she told me yes. One day she started following me, and I was like, holy shit, what is this? Like, one of the people that I absolutely love that makes, A Song of Ice and Fire content. And she was down for it, to the podcast and all the good stuff. And but then, of course, stupid people, it seems like it never really stopped. And I reached out to her before this episode, and I was crossing my fingers that she would say yes. But at the same time, it's like I told her, don't feel like it's, it's not an obligation or anything, or we just would love to have you to say hi. So Nikki, just know that I understand if, because she never really, she probably hasn't even checked her messages. Because I remember her making a video about, I think they invited her to the Fallout premiere, and she didn't even see that message. So yeah, I'm sure she hasn't even been checking her messages. But just know, Nikki, that we all love you, and that, you're in our, you inspired us in a lot of ways, and like WesterosiO
my first mutual
said,
first mutual in the family.
So you're incredible, and know that a lot of us really appreciate you, and just wanted to throw that out there.
Strongly said that.
Yes.
Very well said.
Well, thank you all so much, everyone in the chat. You guys were incredible. It got to a point where we had like, hey, what's up? I saw the
we got dogs too.
Yeah.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah.
Good way to end the chat. Good way to end the live.
Yes, a good way to end it.
Pet next time. Bring your pet. Stay home.
I know. But yes, thank you to everyone that joined on the live. I think it got to a point where we had like 230 people at one point, which is wild. It's
awesome.
and a lot of I did not. I had two moderators, Daya and Farah. I think
Thank you,
Farah has
both of
been on
you.
your yes.
Yeah.
They're both really really nice people. That have been
Thank you.
joining my lives and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'll definitely reach out to them. And they did an incredible job as moderators. And yeah, thank you to everyone.
This was awesome. It was so fun. Like, I can't wait to like reconnect with everybody again. Like,
Absolutely.
this is like, I feel like I'm signing you all up. We will do this again.
Oh, we will.
Night of the
don't have a
Seven
choice.
Kingdoms. Night of the
Yeah.
Seven Kingdoms is around the corner. It's gonna fly by
Yeah.
like that, and then
Yeah.
I can't fucking wait.
We'll do it for sure. I'll figure. Listen, I've got at least we know the good times. I think it definitely has to be on Saturdays because that way, the time just works perfectly. Honestly, I think because during the week, man, it's Kellie. The fact that you were staying up to like 4 a.m. I was like, my God.
Like, I'm a night owl anyway, but I kind of like to sort of clock off and like put the app away like on an evening and like disassociate and then like clock back in the next day. But sometimes, you know, I'm like, let me just, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm like, let me just do this. And then I feel like, oh, well, one more thing. And let me just do this. And I need to learn when to like let it go. So I'm working on that. I feel like now the season's over, I can kind of have a little bit of a breather. It's not as like intense. But at the same time, I'm a glutton for punishment because I'm still like making. I'm not slowing down at all. Like, I'm just making content about other things. So,
Hell yeah.
Yep.
yeah, I know you guys all get it because it's like we all have that similar mentality of like, oh, just one more video, you know, and then before you know it, you're there for hours, and like it's gotten dark outside, and I'm like, oh,
I
know. Have I been here?
I'm always late for work. I'm like, I can fit one 15-second video in.
Yeah, literally.
That's awesome.
This has
Anyways,
been
guys.
Yeah,
Yes.
we have to do it again. But
We will.
Yeah.
So thank you all again. And this was Binging Dragons, people. Thank you so much.
Bye, y'all.